Boardroom discussions regarding sales automation currently revolve around a very specific vocabulary: intelligent pipelines, autonomous workflows, and AI agents capable of operating with minimal supervision. Compare that vocabulary with the actual reality on the sales floor. Daily operations run on a dense, chaotic mix of scattered CRM tabs, shared Excel files, and unstructured email threads. Leadership drafts digital transformation roadmaps, while account managers spend half their day manually copying customer data from one browser portal into another. Because this inefficiency has existed for years, decision makers assume the required solution must be massive. They conclude that a multi-year platform overhaul or a new generation of AI is required to fix the burden. This logic pulls attention away from the actual points of friction. Grand technological plans are drafted, while teams continue to lose hours on small, repeated clerical tasks. The organization signs multi-million-dollar contracts for strategic digital ecosystems, yet the underlying sales engine remains choked by data entry and manual follow-ups. When strategic rhetoric loses contact with the operational floor, automation becomes a technological headline rather than a tool for process design. The push for AI agents assumes that sales inefficiencies originate from a lack of reasoning. It treats the problem as a cognitive failure. In reality, most sales delays stem from coordination failures. Information is fragmented and workflows lack structure. Information frequently arrives in unstructured formats. A lead arrives via email, requiring a human to read the free text, interpret the request, and manually extract the key details. Workflows then stall because approvals require navigation across multiple disconnected individuals and inboxes. This constantly forces the repetitive copy-pasting of identical data across isolated platforms just to keep the record updated. Applying a conversational reasoning engine to this environment misses the point. An AI agent cannot fix a broken data pipeline. It only accelerates a flawed architecture. Misreading a structural coordination problem as a cognitive reasoning problem inevitably forces the business to buy oversized, misaligned technology. Consider how this misalignment plays out in practice. A sales coordinator submits a simple, localized request. They need a faster way to pull product data into a quotation template. That request enters the formal IT pipeline and suffers an immediate translation failure. The business asks for speed. IT hears a request for a document generation architecture. Internal technology teams evaluate the problem through their own operational incentives. They view the request through the lens of architectural standardization, security reviews, and enterprise platform strategy. To secure budget and executive sponsorship, the narrow fix expands into a system integration request, which requires data governance, which eventually becomes an enterprise transformation initiative. The project now requires steering committees, external vendor participation, and change management workstreams. Enterprise vendors accelerate this bloat by pitching fully integrated ecosystems rather than targeted interventions. Executive meetings transition away from solving the quotation bottleneck and focus entirely on product roadmaps and feature implementation. While the ideal architecture is debated for months, the sales team continues to lose margin and momentum daily. Staff watch massive IT budgets deployed from the top down, while their daily manual burdens remain completely untouched on the floor. Large IT programs consistently fail the sales process because they prioritize architectural purity over immediate commercial relief. Progress requires stepping away from software selection entirely and mapping the raw operational data flow. This diagram traces the path of a single quotation request. It starts as an unstructured email, moves to an Excel tracker, requires a manual CRM entry, and finally hits an approval waiting state. A human reads the client's email, extracts the product quantities, and types them into an Excel tracker. That exact same data is then re-entered into the official system of record to satisfy management reporting requirements. Analyzing this workflow requires distinguishing between active labor time, the minutes spent typing, and the total elapsed time. Elapsed time is where momentum dies. A quote taking 30 minutes of active labor might set for 3 days in an approval queue, waiting for a single manager's sign-off. Informal workarounds and shadow spreadsheets keep the deals moving, but they mask this extreme latency from leadership dashboards. Almost all data errors, pricing mistakes, and forecast inaccuracies originate at these manual transfer nodes. The internal path from inquiry to order is structurally fractured by these micro-frictions. causing revenue to stall before a customer ever makes a decision. To fix the flow, an organization must surgically separate commercial work from administrative workload. High-value work includes tasks demanding human interpretation, strategic timing, and relationship management. This matrix classifies tasks by their decision density. Negotiation, objection handling, and relationship building map to high decision density. They involve complex branching logic with highly uncertain outcomes. Reformatting proposals and copying customer data map to low decision density. These are straight, linear paths executing known, repeatable steps. When a salesperson constantly switches systems to execute low-density tasks, the resulting cognitive load fractures their focus. Automation programs must mercilessly target rule-based, low-density tasks while fiercely protecting those high-density judgment zones. The goal of practical automation is never to replace the salesperson. The goal is to protect their strategic bandwidth by eliminating clerical drag. This brings us to the tactical solution, deploying lightweight, highly targeted tools like VBA macros, internal scripts, and browser extensions. These micro-automations operate directly within the existing process reality. They do not demand sweeping behavioral changes from staff to prove their value. When a VBA macro intervenes directly at the point of impact, like a manual transfer between a spreadsheet and a CRM, it instantly resolves the coordination failure. IT departments frequently object, arguing that small tools and macros are inherently fragile, unscalable, or dangerous. That fragility is a symptom of poor documentation, not a flaw in the tool itself. With strict modular design, clear ownership rules, and basic governance, these micro tools act as highly robust enterprise assets. Their economic superiority lies in their speed. By delivering measurable time to value in days rather than years, they effectively fund their own existence. True commercial value is generated by selecting the exact correct level of intervention, not by purchasing the most fashionable technology label. Building resilient automation without disrupting existing revenue flow requires a strictly phased, sequential roadmap. Step 1 mandates halting all software procurement until a rigorous baseline mapping of all repetitive tasks is complete. Step 2 deploys local scripts and macros exclusively to eliminate the most obvious high-frequency manual waste. Step 3 formalizes coordination and routing rules to bridge the gaps between different teams and systems. Step 4 scales to enterprise platform integration or AI layers only after the underlying data flow is proven stable. Contrast this disciplined, evidence-based progression against the catastrophic tech theater of starting at Step 4. Practical automation does not reject advanced systems, it simply demands they are sequenced correctly. True digital maturity is built through the systematic resolution of the smallest, most repetitive recurring pain points.